Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Earthbound. In today's episode, we are back in the Scaraba Pyramid, heading, I suppose we're heading up first, and then we're going to head down into the pyramid in search of an item called the Eagle Eye, I believe, which is going to allow us to see in the deep darkness, which is an area that's coming up, I suppose. This all may not have been explained very well, or I may have missed some dialogue here and there. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it might be a little confusing what the heck we're doing right here. Let's just get some PSI attacks off from this. So, yeah, some of these hieroglyphs on the wall do tend to pop off and attack you, and it seems like we're getting some luck with that PSI freeze again, so I guess that's going to be our go-to attack for a while here, because we're doing pretty well with it. Maybe a round of freeze alphas and regular attacks should finish off this guy. Shouldn't have too much health there. And there he goes, that was enough. But yeah, a buddy of mine, Tortimer the Grey, who watches a lot of my videos, I suppose, commented and said, because he's one of the only ones, I believe, who has been commenting, who said that he didn't really quite understand what was going on. And yeah, I don't know if that's my fault or the game's fault. So I did want to kind of explain, what we're doing here. And usually, I think, as I mentioned on that comment, usually what we're doing is kind of explained in dialogue. So basically the main goal of the game is, of course, to collect the 8 your sanctuary location melodies, which we will use to attain power to defeat Gygus, the ultimate evil. Anything we're doing here, anywhere else in the game, all relates to that ultimate goal. And basically, because we don't know where the Your Sanctuary locations are, a lot of the times where we go to look for them depends on characters, mostly Katie, saying something along the lines of, "Oh, I think we should go here." And, yeah, and basically there's usually not any real good reason for it, other than just, Katie being telepathic and being able to tell, oh, yeah, this is, where we're meant to be going for reasons. And yeah, occasionally a character will also say something along the lines of, just saying that and not being Katie, and just saying, oh, I feel like we should go to this area next. And really, that's the only reason we're going to certain areas. I mean, basically, it's the equivalent of every character here has read the script and knows what we're supposed to be doing next, and no, we don't need to take a break. I think I get that pop-up a lot because I use the fast-forward button a decent amount, and yeah, that's probably why that's happening. So we need to life up Ed here real quick, and I suppose I might life up myself as well. I don't think I've taken any hits recently, but we are lower than our maximum health. Still doing good at PP, luckily. Haven't really been feeling a need to use that on these random monsters. But yeah, that's basically the plot so far, and basically why we're doing everything we're doing. Oh, and I don't think we've shown these enemies yet. The Petrified Royal Guard, who is going to be a palette swap, or was this an enemy we fought before? I don't quite remember. But if he isn't, then there is a palette swap of him we end up fighting a little bit later. And we might as well break out something here. A regular bottle rocket, perhaps? Because I think he's a little bit tough. I don't quite remember for sure, but might as well. But yeah, I think the boss of this area is actually a palette swap. Although, I don't remember it being much of a boss. It's kind of a semi-kind of partial boss, if that makes sense. You gotta watch out for that biting attack. Because I think that something took out Ed when I fought one of these hieroglyphic snakes. And yeah, we had to use a couple of life noodles to get him back. So that guy should be done pretty soon, I think. We hit him with quite a bit. And let's just go for another freeze, I suppose. I don't know why I did a physical attack with Katie. I mean, seriously? That freeze will hit that snake there and should take it out. Yep, there we go. Probably a little overkill there, but that's okay. We do have a decent amount of PSI. Although we may want to make sure... Ooh, PSI boom. Gamma? Yeah, I think it's Gamma. And there is a bag of Dragonite. Okay, that's sweet. That will be useful in a boss fight, I am sure. And yeah, we might have some PSI caramels in our inventory somewhere. Those would be useful in case we run out at any point. And I already fought all you guys. And we're getting some crazy levels in here, so I don't really feel the need to show them off because, like, every single battle we're getting a level. But yeah, I figure you guys don't need to see every single level. I can just show you my character status screen at some point, which I suppose I probably haven't done in a little while. So if you want to see where we're all at this point in the game, in case you're playing along and you kind of want to know what kind of level to be at this point in the game, although I feel like maybe my main character there might be a little over-leveled for this point. I don't quite know for sure. It's hard to say. Oopsie, I think I just tabbed out of my game there for a second. Okay, there we go. Now we're all good. Sorry about that. Hopefully I remember to edit that out in the editing process. Oh, and that's a new one too. The Guardian Hieroglyph, who does not really look like a hieroglyph. But yeah, sometimes those little things like that I kind of forget to edit out. I wish Katie had a PSI attack that could hit everyone, because the fire attack only hits by rows, and we only have 2 rows to choose from, so let's just go for Freeze. Alpha should be okay, and hope we continue to get our luck that we've been getting. Although, with the exception of the Asp, there hasn't really been anything that's thrown too much at us that could be that threatening. Oh wait, no, it's the Fierce Shattered Man. The Guardian Hieroglyph is the actual hieroglyph-looking monster. So the Fierce Shattered Man, we did fight a Shattered Man enemy of some sort a little bit earlier. We should be able to finish off this guy pretty quick. But yeah, there was a Shattered Man enemy over in the Summers Museum that we did fight, and I don't remember if that was quite the same one or if this one's slightly different. There are a lot of enemies that are basically just palette swaps of earlier enemies. And that's just the way the game is. So let's go ahead and get Healing Alpha, heal off that cold. Check out these caskets. Speed Capsule, might as well go ahead and use that up right now. And let's use it on... Well, Ben's always going to be slow, and honestly the Speed Capsule is not going to change that too much. I think we want to get Ollie up a little bit faster. I think he can be a little bit fast, because he does have healing and life up as well. A couple of life noodles that makes up for the one we lost. Can we get around this hieroglyph? Can we make it? Nope, not quite. Luckily, all it takes to take out one of those guys is a round of physical attacks, so we don't have to waste any PSI there. And there's another enemy. And we're going to need another life up there for Ed. I feel like he's taking the brunt of, like, everything, because I haven't had to heal up anybody else except for him. For some reason, the enemies seem to be targeting him a lot more than usual. And I feel like we've been hitting a lot of enemies in this area. So this episode is going to be pretty heavily edited. Oh, and I think this is our boss that we're going to be facing. Yep, just go ahead and talk to it, and it triggers a boss fight. And that's the Guardian General, who looks a lot like that enemy we fought before, except he's more purple rather than orange, I think the other one was. So right off the bat, we don't have too much PSI as our main character here. So let's use... What can we use here? Let's just go for physical attack with Ben. PSI freeze. That's going to use a lot of PSI, but let's just go for it. And we can go for goods, and we can go for the big bottle rocket. Might as well just finish this guy off as quick as we can. And then Ollie, you can... Freeze Beta should be okay. And we will still have some PSI left over for life up in case we need it. Oh, we lost some PP there. That's a little bit annoying, but I would rather have that happen than have him hit us with some kind of crazy powerful attack or something. Okay, so that was a decent round. Let's go for another... we have enough for another Gamma. Yes, we do. Another Freeze. I feel like I use Freeze a lot, but it is probably the best PSI attack, especially for single enemies. Another bottle rocket, excuse me. I'm drinking a flavored water that's kind of carbonated, so it might give me a little bit of gas, you know? I try and keep that quiet a little bit, but it probably comes through in the recording because my microphone is literally right in front of my face. But yep, that was actually pretty easy. I may have overestimated what I needed to do. I could probably have not wasted all my PSI, but I mean, this is the only boss in the area, I think, so we don't really need it for anything else. Oh, and I guess we're getting levels for everybody, so that's nice. Oh, and Ollie got PSI freeze Gamma as well. And heading in here, we have more hieroglyphs to fight. Okay, and then we have another sarcophagus to open, and inside is a rain pendant. Ooh. Let's see. Rain Pendant, ooh, that's a nice little buff to defense. And do we want to give the... Well, the Crystal Charm is actually exclusive to Katie, I believe. So yeah, she'll have to hang on to that one until we sell it. I'm trying to look for it. Where the heck is it? It's in this inventory somewhere, yeah. I remember buying that because it was something we bought in the store, and she was the only one who was allowed to equip it. So now that we've done that, we still need to get the Eagle Eye, so we need to head back... Or did I miss something in this room back here? I feel like maybe I missed a door or something like that. Because we haven't gotten anything new, and there was that area in the middle up there. Oh, enemies. Well, that was incredibly stupid. Well, they got the first strike off and managed to do quite a bit of damage. And we did need to step on that, apparently. I thought I'd kind of walked over that, but I guess I did not. And I don't think we have any more cups of life noodles. Oh, wait, yes we do. We can go ahead and give that to Ed here. And do we have any other cups of life noodles? I hate to use them up like this. Yes, we do. We actually do have 2 of them. And let's see. Running out of inventory space. Okay, Ollie has space. Wait, no, wait. I just gave that cup of life noodles to Ed. So that was the only one we had. I gave it to Ollie this time, but we only had 1, and I ended up getting mixed up. Let's bring Katie back because she does have PSI, although she doesn't have any PSI right now. She doesn't have any PP points, but I mean, no offense, but she is better at surviving than Ed is. And she also has those bags of Dragonite, which we can use to do quite a bit of damage when we need to. But other than that, we don't have any more cups of life noodles, so I guess Ed's just going to have to stay dead for a little while. Sorry about that. But, yeah, so we hit that little button over there, and that should allow us to get back up here. And I really should have hit that button the first time, because then we wouldn't have gotten in this whole situation. But, of course, it's me, and I tend to not play things the smartest way, so you'll just have to live with that. But we're still gonna get through the game. I mean, you know, we're not gonna, you know, lose to the point where we can't continue. Okay, and here we are back in this room, and there's a little hole that's opened up, but there's some enemies here, and I really don't want to bother with them right now because we are pretty not well equipped for dealing with enemies, so let's try and scroll them off, and we're not having much luck, so I may just have to bite the bullet. But yeah, we don't have any PSI. Do we have any PSI healing items? I probably should have checked for that. It doesn't really look like it, but it looks like... Did I get some PSI back? What if I use a bottle of water? I forget, does that heal health? That does heal PSI. Ooh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and use a couple of bottles of water. I couldn't remember for sure. Let's use a couple of those on Ollie, get some of his PSI back. And, yeah, that should be okay for now. Enough to take on this last enemy over here, and I think we're out of this area after that. Okay, so now we can go ahead and drop down this hole here. And I believe that's going to be the Eagle Eye right there. Yes, of course we want to get it. That's the whole reason we came in here in the first place. Or the Hawkeye, that's what it's called. That's right. Can we sneak past this guy? No. And it's a good thing I got some more PSI back because we got some more healing to do. I believe at a certain level, we obviously don't have it yet, but I think healing Gamma or healing Omega, if that's even a thing, can bring people back from the dead. I might be mistaken on that, though. I really don't want to fight those guys. I really don't. I guess we have to. Can we fight them both at once, or do we have to fight them one at a time? I guess we have to fight them one at a time. Or use our temporary invisibility to run past. And is that an item? That is an item. Sweet. A diamond band. Didn't we already get our upgrades to the diamond band? Oh, hang on. Get into the equip screen here. Yeah, we all have diamond bands already, except for Ollie, who can't equip items, other than certain items that he has. By the way, wait, never mind. I know what items he can equip, and none of those are it. Jump down this hole, and a bunch of enemies again. Okay, we barely got out of that alive, so let's get out of here. Let's see, do we have anything we can use right now? Anything at all? I had to use one of the bags of Dragonite to save myself there, and I'll show one of those on camera at some point, probably when we end up doing a boss fight. Let's see, well, we can't use anything here. Brain Food Lunch, that's the item I use to bring back my PSI points. Oh, and we used the condiment on it too, so that gave us, oh, that's a lot of PP, okay. So we're gonna have quite a bit of offensive PSI going further. I thought we were almost out of this area, but I guess not. Bottled water will give us a little bit back. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I think that's all we can do right now, so we're gonna have another hieroglyph to fight here. Okay, so Ali just got healing gamma. I'm curious, can we use that? We don't have enough PSI, so I guess we can't test that out. Never mind. You know, I am starting to feel like maybe we're a bit under-leveled here, but I feel like that might just be because we're down a party member right now. And hopefully we're almost out of here. I think this dungeon is a lot longer than I remembered it being. Obviously we can't just go out the way we came in. There we go, we're out of here, finally. And now we're gonna get the guy who trained Ali back here. And oh, and I guess Ed's back. Okay, that's interesting. And now it's time for Ali to learn the way of the Starstorm. And we're gonna lose Ali already. We've only had him for like 1, maybe 2 episodes, but he's already leaving us. So yeah, we do lose Ali for a little bit, but he'll come back later, and then I think we'll end up losing him again to learn Starstorm Omega, because he's only gonna learn the alpha version of Starstorm here, which of course, if you know the characters Ness and Lucas from the Super Smash Bros. Series, you probably remember that their final smash is a technique called PSI Starstorm, but of course Ness, our main character here, Ben, cannot actually learn Starstorm, which is interesting, I suppose, and neither can Lucas from Mother 3. But obviously it is their, it is kind of like the signature move, the most powerful one from these games, so it does make sense that they want to use it there. And we don't have enough money, so we're gonna have to figure out where the heck we are first. Oh, and a bunch of UFOs. What are we doing on health? Oh, we're actually topped off. I guess we're good. Okay, never mind that then. And we actually got a surprise hit on these guys, and it's a high-class UFO and a beautiful UFO. So let's just go ahead and just hit them with some powerful attacks. Might as well go for the freeze gamma there, because they're all in a row. That makes it a lot easier. That didn't do too much, at least to the middle one. I guess it just has high defenses. That did a little bit more. There we go. That'll take out the 2... Oh, I guess it didn't take out the 2 random UFOs there. Let's just go for a Boom Alpha, a Fire Beta, and then just shoot with Ed. I suppose we could probably start making use of some of his other items, since we're not in a boss fight right now, but I just feel like they're always going to fail. Because I feel like every time I try to use them is when I'm on camera doing a boss fight, and every time they don't work, so I feel like there's really not much point using them, even though, honestly, in these random battles they probably would work. Kraken Soup. Huh, I wonder what that does. I guess we could look at it. And it's going to be... Oh, and we're out of inventory space, so we gotta free up some space at some point. Kraken Soup... Sizable power boost is guaranteed. Oh, so it just boosts your HP. I was thinking it'd boost your stats, too, since it said a sizable power boost is guaranteed. Oh, and look at this! This looks like a dungeon in the shape of a man. Let's go ahead and use our key to the tower here. And there we go, we can go and enter the dungeon, or the man-shaped dungeon. Welcome, you are inside of my body. Brick Road. Oh hey, it's our friend Brick Road, who was successful in making himself into a dungeon with the help of Dr. Anonuts. And I believe these are enemies we already saw. These would have been the enemies over in the department store. I don't think we actually ran into the cup of coffee, because I got lucky and got through it pretty quick. So I will show this enemy off since we haven't done it yet. If I get a chance to. These are enemies for a little while back, so we might be able to take care of them pretty handily before they have a chance to do too much. That didn't do too much. Oh, it did a bit to Katie, it did a bit to Ed. I guess I just have higher defenses. Yeah, it's at the end of the coffee cup. The mystical record, I believe, was the one we ended up fighting. But other than that, I think we ended up skipping the other enemies. we actually managed to get through without fighting them, which is probably gonna end up being my downfall at some point because I feel like I'm starting to get a little under-leveled, perhaps. Although, like I said, it might have just been because I was missing a team member earlier on. My statistics show that about 70% of the people go to the right first, brick road. So let's break that tradition and go left. If you check into this bench, it's just like checking into a hotel. So yeah, we can go ahead and heal up here at the Good Night bench, which is basically like a free hotel, like he said, which is going to be very nice. And we might make use of that phone right there to try and clear up our inventory a little bit. Although I'm not sure how long I've been going on for this video. I feel like I've been talking for a little while, but it's hard to say for sure. Ooh, we have a lot of money, but nowhere to spend it in here, so let's not get it just yet. And of course, in this area, there's a doctor, because what dungeon does not have a doctor and a hotel and an ATM and a little palm tree and a pot? I mean, seriously now? But yeah, I think I'm going to end it off there just because I don't know exactly how long this video is going to be because there's so many random battles in that area I had to cut out. So if it's a little bit shorter, I do apologize for that. I try and keep them around the same length. But yeah, this one might be a little bit shorter just because of me not being able to gauge exactly how long it's been. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I feel like we didn't get as much done this episode as I would have liked, but that's just because that area was much longer than I thought it was, like I said before. But yeah, next episode we'll continue going through Brick Road's body, aka Dungeon Man, and see what he has in store for us. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.